Hi everyone! So today I'm going to show you my everyday foundation and concealer routine. The foundation that I use I've actually been using for a really long time, but the concealers and stuff like that I've added in within the past year. So I've gone back and forth between a few different ones and tried other ones in between, but I always go back to the products that I use, that I'm going to use in this video. So I hope that you guys find it helpful and we can go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I do before applying my foundation is use my Laura Geller's Makeup Tinted Primer, and I use the color Bronze. There's also one that's more of an illuminating primer, but I just bought this one because I received this as a sample in my Birchbox, and I really liked how it was oil-free, but also really gave your skin a really pretty, kind of like luminous finish without looking shiny. So I really recommend this primer. It gives a really pretty finish to the skin and helps to smooth out any pores or anything like that. And I start off by applying this, and I just use my fingertips to apply this. I kind of warm it up between my hands first and then rub it in. And even though I have fair skin, it doesn't make your skin look really bronze. It just kind of gives a pretty glow to the skin. So even if you have a fair skin tone, you can definitely use this product. And you can see it doesn't leave your skin shiny or anything. It just kind of smooths your skin out and prepares it for your foundation. So the foundation that I've been using literally for the past 5 years, I've switched it up a little bit. I use Laura Mercier's Tinted Moisturizer in the summer, and I've also tried the Silk Cream Foundation from Laura Mercier. But I always go back to Lacome's Idole. I just love this foundation. I love the wear of it. I love the finish. It's perfect for the summer, and I wear the color Buff 4. The reason why I say it's perfect for the summer is because it is an oil-free foundation and it's more of a matte finish. So for the winter, when my skin tends to look a little bit more dull, I actually blend it with the Revlon Photo Ready. But I love this foundation because it has tiny little light reflectors in it, so it gives a really pretty luminous finish to the skin. And I actually use this as a slight shade lighter than the Tinted that I use, but I just like to combine the two of them because when my skin is more fair for the winter like it is right now, this one gives a slight dewy finish, whereas this one's more of a matte finish. So I feel like the two of them combined is really pretty for the winter. When it gets into the summer months, I probably would just stick with my Tinted by itself, but for right now, I really like blending it with the Revlon Photo Ready foundation. So the way that I apply my foundation is with my Beauty Blender sponge, and I love this sponge. I've been using this for the past 6 or so months, maybe longer, but I just love the way that this gives a really nice airbrush look without looking cakey or streaky. I do have a MAC foundation brush that I really like, and some days I will use that. Sometimes I switch it up a little bit, but most of the time I go for this. And some of you may not like using these because they're kind of high maintenance. You have to keep up with cleaning them pretty often. I have 2 of them, so I go back and forth and I alternate between the 2. So I do have to clean mine about every 2 days, which is kind of a hassle, but for me, I just really like the way that they blend my foundation, and I also use them for my concealer, so for me it's worth it. But because they do apply the foundation really well, I definitely recommend these. And if you're going to buy it, they have a little set on Sephora where you can buy one that comes with the blender cleanser that you wash the sponge with, and I definitely recommend purchasing this because I tried using my Bobbi Brown brush cleaner that I have with this, and it did not remove the foundation at all. It just kind of made it soapy, but it didn't cleanse all the way through. So I definitely recommend picking up the blender cleanser, and I actually use this just as my regular brush cleaner now because it works. It's really effective. I may do a video on how to cleanse your brushes using this cleanser, so if you're interested in that, let me know. Okay, so now I'll show you how to apply my foundation. First, I take the Tinted and I put like a drop and a half on the back of my hands, and then I blend the Photo Ready with that. And sometimes I'll even take the Photo Ready by itself and kind of use it to highlight some areas that I want to highlight, or that I want to be lighter, like around my nose or anything like that. But normally I just blend them together on the back of my hand and then dot it around my face. And then I kind of just pull the rest of it off. And then I use my sponge and just bounce it around on my face. And this just kind of stipples the foundation into the skin. And it just, I feel like the sponge just gives a really even coverage, whereas using a brush can sometimes you can miss a spot, or using your fingers, It blends okay, but I just feel like you end up with a lot of product left onto your fingertips and into your brush, and this sponge doesn't really absorb the foundation at all, which I really like. You do have to be careful because I have tried other sponges before and they do actually absorb too much of the foundation, so that's what I really like about this sponge, is that it's not like that. And I do like bounce it over my eyelid, but you don't have to do that. I mean, I'm going to still use an eye base whenever I apply my makeup, but... Okay, so then when I get the coverage to where I want it, then I take my e.l.f. Touch-Up stick, and this is in the shade Light Beige, and I warm it up onto my finger just like this, so that way it just spreads a little bit more evenly, and then I just blend that on any kind of scar, acne scars, or anything that I want to cover. And then I go back with my Beauty Blender sponge and just kind of press it in. Okay, so then when I'm done applying my foundation, I use my concealer before using my face powder just because I want to set everything together and blend everything the way that I want it before applying my powder. So I use the Chanel Corrector Perfection Concealer in number 10, and I really like this concealer because it comes on a wand, so it's really easy to apply, and it's very creamy, but it doesn't settle into like crease underneath your eye, and it also covers really, really well. So it's great if you have any like darkness underneath your eyes because it really helps to conceal that. Then I just use the tip of the Beauty Blender sponge to blend it in. And sometimes I do use my fingertips to blend this if I'm lazy. Okay, so then when I'm done applying my concealer, I take my Trish McEvoy Instant Eye Lift, and this is a pink concealer type product. And this you actually apply to the outer corners of your eyelid, or the outer corner of your eye in a little, like, kind of like a triangle, but I didn't do a very good job with mine. But you apply it here because this is going to brighten up the eye area. So I'll show you what the difference looks like. I'll do this one, and I blend this in with my Trish McEvoy number 40 brush, which is a medium lay down brush with synthetic bristles. So I just pat this into the outer corner of my eye, and because this product is more of a pink tone, it lightens up under the eye and kind of highlights right into this area, and it helps to brighten the eye area. So this is a product that I just discovered recently that I really love. So if you can tell the difference, this eye looks much more brighter and open, whereas this one just has kind of more of a shadow in this area, and you really want to highlight this area. That's where you put your, your cheek highlighters and stuff like that. So this one looks much more brighter because the pink tone in this actually brightens the eye area. So I'll apply it on the other side now. And you could technically blend this in with your finger. I just like using this brush because it lays it down really nicely and blends it in. But this product would not take place of a concealer because it's too pink to put underneath your eye, so it won't conceal any dark circles or anything like that. It just highlights your cheekbone area. And you just kind of blend it into the concealer that you apply. So then after I'm done applying those two, I like to set the concealer with the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. This is one of my favorite eye products ever. It's just a really, really finely milled light reflecting powder, and it sets your concealer really nicely. And I like to blend it with the Mercier Finishing Eye Brush because it doesn't pack the powder on, it just kind of lightly dusts it under the area because it's so fine. I don't know if you can see, but it's so fine, you don't even really need that much. I actually just pick the powder up from the lid, so whatever kind of excess gets into the lid, I use that. So this will literally last you forever if you do decide to buy it. It's kind of pricey, but I've had this for almost a year, and I haven't even come close to using it all. So I just pick up a little bit of the product in the lid, and then kind of go in circles. And this will just give the under eye like a really nice airbrushed finish. And it also brightens up the eye area. And this kind of just helps to set everything and to blend everything together. Okay, so then the very last thing that I do is apply the e.l.f. High Definition Powder, and I just really like this because it's very lightweight, and I don't really like a lot of powder. I don't like the powder look. I feel like it looks too cakey, and I would rather have more of a glow to the skin. So, and I just use the little powder puff that's in it, and I press it into the areas that I feel like need the most. So I just press it into my T-zone area, and then along where I put my concealer. And if I'm having any breakouts or any blemishes, then I'll apply this powder and press it into the skin, and then I'll go back with my concealer and put the concealer on any kind of blemishes, and then I'll go back and press it again with the powder. So it's giving it extra layers of coverage. And then when I'm done with that, I go in with my powder brush and blend everything together. Alright, so that completes my foundation routine. I hope that you guys found this video helpful, and if you have any questions about anything, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer them. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye!